All right, you guys, we're constructing equations, so we're going to look at context and turning that into an equation. That is the goal here. So even if you can answer these questions without making an equation, you're not meeting the learning target because the learning target is to construct the equations, and that's what our attempt is here. Let me just zoom out. Here's the button I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to look at number 2 first, and we're going to work through that, and then we'll come back to number 2. Number 1. Caitlin went to the store to buy school clothes. She had a store credit from a previous return in the amount of $39.58. So that's pretty important. I'm gonna write that down. I'm just writing some notes of what I see. $39.58 credit. Okay. If she bought 4 of the same style shirts in different colors and spent a total of $52.22, okay, that was 4 shirts. There's 4 of them, 4 of the same style shirts, and that's how much they are. So just thinking about being able to see this a little bit better. $52.22, that's the 4 shirts. And that she has a store credit of $39.58. So just making some notes. So a lot of times you got a lot of information going on, and it's best to pull out that information and then work from a list of information. Okay, so the shirt is in different colors and spent a total of $52.22 after the store credit was taken off her total. So that is important right there. So we need to think about that. What was the price of each shirt she bought? Write an equation and solve this. Solve the equation with integer coefficients. So that means we're going to have whole numbers and maybe possibly negative numbers, but we're not going to be working with fractions. Okay, so thinking about this, our total value was $52.22. That's how much she paid. She has 4 shirts. That's what she's purchasing, 4 shirts. We don't know the price of those shirts. So I'm going to call X the price of the shirt. So the cost of the shirt is X. So I'm going to say 4 times the cost of the shirt. And I have this $39.58. And so what we've got to think about is this an addition or a subtraction here? So did she get this taken off of her total bill? Yes. So like she had her total amount, and then they subtracted out the $39.58 to give us the $52.22. So minus $39.58. So here is the credit that she had. So she got to take that amount off of her total value. Here is the shirts. Okay, and we're going to now find out the cost of the shirt here. So I'm going to solve this equation by drawing a line down the middle. I'm going to be adding $39.58, adding $39.58. And we can use calculators here, and so that's just how I'm going to do it, so I don't have to do it on paper. And I come up with 91.80. And that equals, well, this is canceled out, so that equals the 4x. That's all we have left on this side. So basically, if she was buying the 4 shirts and she didn't have her credit, she would have been paying 91.80. But she had a credit, so they took off that $39.58, and she only paid $52.22. Now we're going to be dividing by 4, because we bought 4 shirts. We want to know the price of the single shirt. X equals, and you're going to do that same operation there. X equals $22.95. The cost of the shirt is $22.95. So I can say 4 times $22.95 minus my credit, I'm going to pay $52.22. Okay? And the goal here, constructing equations, really is this portion. That was the goal of that equation, or constructing that equation. We constructed it, then we solved it. Solving it is a different learning target, but we still need to know the process of it. Okay, I'm going to move us up to number 1. Heather practices soccer and piano. Each day she practices piano for 2 hours. So I'm going to write piano equals 2 hours per day. After 5 days, she practices both piano and soccer for a total of 20 hours. So I'm going to say piano plus soccer equals 20. It's talking about for 5 days, so we need to know her piano for 5 days. And so I'm going to multiply this by 5. So it's 10 hours per 5 days for piano. And so we're trying to figure out her soccer. And so I think that you could probably figure this out without making an equation. But again, our learning target is constructing equations. So taking our English, or the way we speak, the way we write, and interpreting that into math. So that's what we're going to do right now. Assuming that she practiced soccer the same amount each day, how many hours per day did she practice soccer? And so we know that we're going to go back to this equation that the piano plus the soccer, it equals 20. Well, we know that she practiced 10 for the piano plus the soccer is going to equal 20. But this says how many per day. If I were to solve this, I'm not solving the per day, I'm solving the per 5 days. So I'm going to change this by saying 10 plus 5 times the soccer. And I'm going to change this just to make sense, because since I'm using s. 10 plus 5 times whatever that daily soccer hours are equals 20. There's the equation we're looking for. There's our piano. We know that she practiced 10 hours. We're looking for the 5 days times the number of hours she's practicing per day, and that's all going to equal 20. And then when I solve that, so this is that learning target, constructing equations. And I'm going to follow through with solving the equation. And at this point, I'm going to be subtracting 10. And it cancels out, and I'm left with 5s equals 10. And then I'm going to divide by 5. And that cancels out, and s equals 2. So she practices soccer for 2 days. Oops, 2 days, just like she practices piano for 2 hours, just like she practices piano for 2 hours.